But Steve, let me tell you something. Before we had VAT, we had revenue, you know.
I know.
And so that revenue was supposed to deal with them kind of things.
Yes.
The VAT money specifically was to be compartmentalized, put off to one side
I
to,
agree with
number
you.
one, reduce the deficit. Number two, go on the debt.
Yeah.
So when Hauke is talking about all these things, he's talking absolute hogwash.
Yeah.
Because that money was supposed to come for what taxes we had before, was supposed to go on those things. But what they have done is they've hired 4,500 additional people into the civil service. They've had Bamsey and lost millions there. They had the teeth into the money in the road traffic department and the passport office. They have run a fiscally, irresponsible government. They've been fiscally irresponsible. They haven't managed the people's money properly. That's why they can't account for it. That's why our budget is not in balance. They've been fiscally irresponsible. And when the people agreed, okay, rather begrudgingly, we'll allow you to introduce the value-added tax because we got a large deficit. We get that. But we do it on the condition that you put it on reducing the deficit and you then put it on the debt, and you are fiscally responsible. That's why we want a Fiscal Responsibility Act to mandate and force you to do it.
For by the Chief of Commerce and all those responsible for the.
But they didn't want to do that, and you see why.
Yeah, I see why. But I was figuring that there would be people, your colleagues in the business sector, who would in fact insist and enforce that these things are happening. Look at what has happened now.
You know they have a draft Fiscal Responsibility Act.
Yeah,
they have it there
but-
fast.
yeah,
They
but-
put it out there,
Yeah.
and then they say, "Man, we ain't want to do that. We're not doing that." So what can we do? I mean, they're elected by the people to look after the people's money, and if they are fiscally irresponsible, there's nothing we can do as a business community.
Well, we can do something.
can vote.
We can get downgrade more and more because there's another pending downgrade again because of the fact that we have not been prudent.
And do you see what their reaction was when they got downgraded the last time? Man, Moody's don't know what they're talking about. We're about to grow. We're about to boom. We're about to do it right. Election coming. We got to tell the people things getting good.
You didn't hear the biggest joke. The biggest joke about that was that the reason we got downgrade, and this is your friend Leslie says, the reason we got downgrade was because we had incompetent people in the room. The people who were in the room negotiating on behalf of the Bahamas, they didn't know what they was doing. They weren't supposed to be there.
Well, good thing he wasn't there. Because then we'd have gone down probably two notches. The fact of the matter is that Standard & Poor's is not run by a bunch of government hacks. They are...
I think you were referring to our people.
Yes, I know. And he thinks that...
Who had a 3-week window to know what to say to these people when they came
look, what you don't understand, it's all in the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. If you're running a deficit, you could wiggle and waggle around that all you want. But if you're running a deficit and S&P comes in, they're economists, they're professionals, they know what they're doing. They come in, they dispassionately look at what's going on. They draw a conclusion. They're not like our Department of Statistics that is under the control of the government, right? The 32,000 jobs, right?
Yes.
And everybody laughing like, ha 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 ha, 32,000 jobs?
Where?
I mean, really?
How?
And you know what? There's one way to check it. How many additional people were added to the national insurance rolls? How many people? And there's 3,000 over 5 years. So either they're lying or 28,000 people are not paying national insurance.
You're right.